So, Rob Helt here with you. I want to go over the steps in making an MPEG-4 from DVD, and I think it's inherently important to do it the proper way in order to get the correct levels for good video and good audio and things like that. And so, as you can see here on my screen, I use TMPEG Inc. Video Mastering Works 5. This is a program that I purchased and seems to be pretty much the standard in the industry, as it gives you a lot of control. And I'm going to take you through how I do this. I have in my hand, which you cannot see, I have two DVDs that came with me, and it is a deposition of a lady named Ramona Faulkner, and it's two DVDs. So what we're going to do is actually encode both DVDs to one MPEG-4 file. Standard in the industry has always been, if you had 4 DVDs, you would do 1 of 4, 2 of 4, 3 of 4, 4 of 4. But nowadays, with the advent of processors being faster and codecs working much better, you can actually combine all of this into one file, and it seems to make things easier. And so the first thing I'm going to do is take DVD 1 and I'm going to place it into my DVD drive, and I'm going to choose New Project. Now, these steps go the same regardless of what I'm working on. Now, if I want to combine MPEG-1 files to MPEG-4, I would deal with this from files. But right now, we're going to choose from a DVD. And as you can see here, I'm going to select a drive, and my drive letter is D. And I'm going to tell it next. And as you can see here, when we're going to go in and we're going to create a new path, a new folder, we do that. Now, we're going to go ahead and plug the drive in there, and once I get it in, I choose from a DVD, drive D, and I'm going to tell it next. And what it's going to do is analyze the actual, and you notice I had a pause there, and it was because I didn't shut my DVD drive, so it didn't have a DVD in and didn't recognize. It's going to analyze the file, and once it analyzes the file, it will go in and it will there it analyzes, and what it does is just make sure that this file is okay, that it has no problems. And as you can see here, it shows us a lot of information right here. It shows us that it's an MPEG-2 video DVD. It's 58 minutes and 5 seconds long, and it's 2 gigs in file size. And so I'm just going to tell this next. This screen right here is important. I choose to copy the selected titles to the hard drive. And I have a folder that I keep on my desktop that I go in and dump out occasionally to get rid of files. But here's what it looks like. When you create this file, it will create this all of these little things here. And notice from the file size that they're huge. They're actually the size of the DVD. What it's basically doing is it's ripping off the files that are on there so that you don't have to keep changing disks when you're doing the encoding, especially since I use the batch encode tool. Now right here I'm going to tell it OK, and it's going to copy these files over. This process can take, it depends on the speed of your DVD drive. It depends on the size of the disk and things like that. But it takes just a little bit of time for this to copy over. Once it copies over, that's when we go into the meat of the matter. So once it's finished doing the analyzation and copying the file over to your hard drive in that folder that we dumped in, this is where I go ahead and give this a name. So I'm going to type Ramona Faulkner 1. Now this is 1 of 2, but I'm just going to type 1 because this really isn't going to matter at this point. I leave everything else alone and I click OK. Now you notice it's going to put that right here. Now at this point I go ahead and change to my second DVD, and I put the second DVD in, and it doesn't matter if you have 1 DVD or 100 DVDs. You're going to do this the same way. So right here we're going to go ahead and click Source Wizard again, and we're going to walk back through all of these same things, okay? And we're noticing it's going to analyze, it will analyze the disk, and that is just to make sure that you don't have a cyclic redundancy check, make sure that the files are okay. Some DVDs just won't work, and so you have to be very cognizant of that. Once that's done and it analyzes, I see this one's 40 minutes and 4 seconds. I kind of see everything, and I tell it next, and we go through this process of copy again. Now, going through this process of copy again, this one's going to go faster because it was 10 minutes less on the video runtime. So now that we have the second one done, we're going to put in Ramona Faulkner 2. And the only reason I put the 1 and 2 is right here. It makes sure that they're grouped together and that they're evenly in proportion, because if they're not in order, that's a problem. I'm going to remove the DVD out of my drive. Now my drive's clear. It's at this point I have both of them. I have 58 minutes and 5 seconds, 40 minutes and 4 seconds for a total runtime of 1 hour 38 and 10. We go to the Format tab. Now these tabs, if you'll notice, these tabs run across. So you can go back and forth between any of them. And right here I'm going to click on Format. Now, I have a template already set up that I'll tell you, Bruce Balmer with CompuScripts from South Carolina gave me this template, and it's great for MPEG 4. The first thing that I do, though, is I go into my settings, and I'm going to jack this thing way back for this file to be about 500 meg. And I'm going to tell you, we haven't seen much difference when we're using the MPEG 4 codec. You'll want to pause this screen so that you can see these settings, and these are the settings that I use. Take a look at all these up here. These are the settings that are used, but right here, output all clips into one file or one set of files. So it's going to be in one file. There's several different drop downs you can use. I use this one. I want it to be one file. I want to take tape 1 and tape 2, and I want them together, and that's what I'm going to do right here. So I'm going to click encode. It's at this point that I choose where I want to put it. Now I've got videos that are all going here. I'm going to take out that number 1. I'm going to tell it to save. This is where I want it to go. Now I'm going to add it to the batch. The reason I added to the batch is because I'm actually batch processing a group of videos right now. And so you can see here, I'm going to make this smaller for you to be able to bring it into the window. I have videos, as you can see, that are going on to the batch right here that are going to be processed. And so once I'm ready, I click Start Batch, and all these will run. And I can let those run in the background. Once I'm done with this, I simply click Start, and I start a new project. And this is where I'm going to add 2 more or 3 more DVDs or whatever. And that's the basic principles of using the templates and using TMPEG Inc. to be able to create MPEG 4 files.